This is the easiest meal prep ever. These are burger patties that I froze individually on a cookie sheet. Last night I took out 3 of them. I'm going to eat those today. These I just mixed in a huge bowl, 4 pounds of grass-fed beef, and then 1 pound of breakfast sausage from Walmart, $3.12. This was about 20 minutes total, and I turned halfway in between. And you can also use a big casserole. Anything that has a little bit of depth to it, because you know all this grease might overflow if you just use a regular cookie sheet. I like to have hard-boiled eggs available in the refrigerator just in case I get hungry, like before bed, or I have to take some medication. And then what I don't use today of my bacon, that's going to go in the refrigerator too. I know this isn't the best cheese, but I like it, especially on grilled hamburgers. Yeah, so here's my first meal of the day. It's about 11 o'clock a.m. I'm only allowing myself to have half of a slice of American cheese per day. So I didn't put any on this burger patty, but that's okay. So Carrie on Homestead How said their family had experimented with the best ratio of ground beef to pork, ground pork, or pork sausage, whatever. Anyway, and he thought the best was 2/3 ground beef to 1/3 pork. So I did that, and it was really good. But then I decided to do a little more ground beef. So this was 4 parts ground beef to 1 part pork, and I actually like it a little better. So good and so easy. What would really taste good is if I was to make some carnivore mayonnaise. You can make carnivore mayonnaise with just butter and eggs. But I'm trying to keep it simple because I feel like I get off track too easily. If I try to do something too fancy, the next thing I know, I compromise and have just a tiny bit of this with it. A dill pickle and then a sweet pickle. Anyway, I'm just going to stay strict for right now to make sure I stay on it. So after 1 year away from carnivore, I gained back 10 of the 30 pounds I lost. And I went back to eating some sugar. That started around the holidays, where I purposely said to myself, I'm going to eat sugar during the holidays. And that was a bad idea, because then I just kept doing it even after the holidays were over. So, and my bones were starting to get achy, my joints, when I walked. So I wasn't walking as much. And I also have a neck problem right now, but that's another story. But anyway, I'm walking better after 1 week back on the carnivore diet. I think I started February 1st. So just about a week. So I don't truly believe that there's anything inherently wrong from eating whole grains that you grind yourself and make them into bread. The problem with me is that I used to eat sugar, so I started eating a piece of bread a day and then 2 pieces of bread a day, And then I started putting peanut butter on it, and it just escalated from there. So I'm not even using stevia because I feel like if I taste anything sweet, that's going to set me off, and then I'm just going to be thinking about eating carbs constantly all day. So I haven't tasted anything sweet in about a week. You could make these burgers without any pork too. If you want to just stay BBB&E, well, just put the ground beef and make the burgers like that. And then I also mix in some salt, approximately a teaspoon for every pound of ground beef. And you can have your bacon and eggs and your butter. I like to keep butter in the freezer, and that's my snack. It probably looks gross, but I have a stick of butter that I just take bites off of, and I stick it back in there. I'm going to be full for hours after this.